I want to discuss some other kinds of experiences that can happen from deepening samadhi, experiences that are beyond jhana, in addition to those presented in the traditional Buddhist texts. In the last session, I talked about the formless attainments and the group of experiences that include psychic phenomena known as the abhinyas. Those are traditional Buddhist formulations of what can happen beyond jhana, but there is so much more that might happen that don't necessarily fit in traditional Buddhist contexts. But for completeness, I want to name them and mention some of them here. I can't possibly talk about everything that might happen, but I hope this will give an idea or a sense of things. It's not that you're trying to make any of these happen, but to know that this is a sampling or an idea of the kind of things that can happen. If some of these various manifestations do happen, then you have a choice point. You may want to follow and allow letting the way unfold and reveal itself to you, especially if there's something that feels wholesome and good and right there. You might want to explore that, see what there might be there for you. Or you may choose to steer your experience back towards your traditional Buddhist understanding of what might happen. So you have choice points here. Someone during a meditation retreat reported having an experience of divine light, a shaft of divine light entering her body. This was her language. You can already see using the word divine is not a traditional Buddhist term, but this is her description of what happened. And the next day she described that she said it changed. It was no longer a shaft of divine light, but divine light had expanded and filled her entire body. And then the image of Mother Mary appeared. She didn't understand that because she didn't have any relationship with Mother Mary. She was not a Christian, but that was the image, very clear, very vivid. And she was being invited or drawn to merge in divine love. And so wanted to know what to do. Well, she had a choice point there. I suggested, and she did, stay with that, see what might be there for you. It felt right and good and wholesome and was very powerful in strengthening faith, love, connection. So that's an example of the kind of thing that could happen. Another person once described going from the fourth jhana to entering into another realm of existence that he described as being just as real as what we would describe as our ordinary everyday world. It was a world of, this was his term, angelic beings. And it was a world of light and love. It was very beautiful. And he was invited in to connect into that community and open up in a sense of connection and love. So this is a sense of the kind of things that can happen. It's not that these are supposed to happen, but you can be aware that if they do happen, again, you can decide, is there something of value here? These experiences have their own enlightening and liberating effects. There can be experiences described as oneness. Oneness with life, oneness with all things. It's hard to really say more about it, but if that were to happen for you, that word oneness would make sense. So it can feel like that sometimes. There is a process that can occur called cessation. In the Buddhist model, cessation refers to an ending or a cessation of becoming. Becoming refers to bringing an overlay of our views, opinions, attitudes, preconceived ideas to meet or to overlay on top of experience. So it alters, it changes our perception, it changes how we experience what's happening. That is the process of becoming. It's creating our experience. And so we stop that inserting our own views and overlays onto things, and then we let things unfold in their own way without preconceived views, attitudes. That is the process of cessation. There are meditation teachers who have taken that idea to mean a cessation of consciousness, where in meditation, coming out of some jhana states, the process of consciousness is turned off. It would be similar to if you've ever had general anesthesia. You have been unconscious. So in this understanding, cessation refers to becoming unconscious. This is rare, but it can happen. So just to know, it's another thing that can happen. The boundary between yourself and others, the boundary between yourself and life, between yourself and all things can dissolve. And there's a sense of deepening connection or even a merging with life, with others, with other experiences, with other things. You can see from the few things I've mentioned that there is a wide range, quite a variety of what might happen. These are not common experiences, but just to know they can happen. I'll mention one more possibility, which is the deathless. This is problematic and difficult to talk about because the deathless is ineffable. It's beyond verbal conceptual categories. People have a lot of ideas and opinions about it. People have different experiences that they may call an experience of the deathless. I will offer my own description, and other people may say something different. That's fine. The deathless is actually not an experience. It's not something, it's not anything, but it's also not nothing. So what would that be? What is not something and not nothing? Some people refer to it as the unmanifest, or will say there's nothing there. That's not quite accurate. It's not cessation like a cessation of consciousness, though cessation can be mistaken for the deathless. It's not the same thing. I call the deathless pure eternity itself, not because it lasts forever, it's not eternal in time, but because it's beyond time and beyond space. So what is that? Another way to think about it that I think is probably the most accurate is it's a dissolving away of yourself, of your own being, leaving only the unmanifest that we call the deathless. When that happens, if that happens, you are not there. You're not having the experience as an individual being to know what's happening. There is only as I say, the pure eternity itself. And it's only upon coming back, when you're back into existence as an experiencer, but you're still really close to what happened, that you can know what happened. So that is a process that can happen. None of the experiences I talked about or any of the other manifestations of deepening samadhi are important to happen. It's not that they are supposed to happen. They are not more enlightening, awakening, or liberating than any of the other traditional ways we've been talking about throughout this series. But we don't invalidate them if they happen. They're included in what can happen. And then you have your choice point of how much do you want to let the path open and reveal itself and follow the way it's guiding you and bringing you, or do you want to steer back to some of the traditional sense or ideas of the unfolding of your experience, and you can then steer back in those directions.